Why did we join Toastmasters? Well, probably because we want to be better public speakers. It's pretty simple. Maybe you were in a situation at work and you realized that you needed to step up your game a little bit. Maybe you were in a group situation and you realized that you weren't as effective as you'd like to be when you were speaking. You joined Toastmasters because you wanted to improve your experience as a public speaker. Most likely, we all have similar reasons for coming here, for getting up early on a Wednesday, coming here to Gresham Toastmasters. A few weeks back, Karen inspired us to consider what more we can do beyond voting. That speech that morning, pardon me, really had a great impact on me. That very morning, I was thinking the exact same thing. What more can I do to change my community, to help things go the direction that I'd like to see them going? I wasn't exactly thinking about it in the same way that Karen was thinking about it. I was actually thinking about 1987. That seems weird. Okay, October 1987 in McLean, Texas. A baby fell in a well. Now, many of you may not remember Jessica McClure. You might be too young, or perhaps it wasn't on your radar. It was on my radar because my daughter was roughly the same age. I was very, very upset. I felt really helpless in that situation. That morning before I came to Toastmasters, I was having that same gut-wrenching feeling because of the families that were being separated at the border. Now, Karen said, what more can we do beyond voting? And I was thinking, I'm going to write a strongly worded letter. I'll show them. But when I reflected on a strongly worded letter, I thought, well, who's going to read it? Is it going to get there in time? Is it going to have the effect that I want it to have? And I had a lot of, pardon me, I had a lot of doubt. But that feeling of helplessness, understanding and having empathy for that family and that baby, imagining how it was for Jessica McClure's parents hearing their baby cry from 22 feet down in an 8-inch well casing, it was heart-wrenching. We live in a time where we have constant examples of how not to agree. We live in a time where we are constantly shown that we don't need to listen to the other person's perspective. I disagree that we don't need to listen. I think we can make a difference. It may not be from a strongly worded letter. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going our way. It's easy to think that we should just throw in the towel because we feel helpless. Fellow Toastmasters, we are in a unique position because we can make a difference. We know how to listen because we practice listening. We know how to engage in a counter argument or discussion on the fly because we practice impromptu speaking. We can formulate nuanced arguments that advance conversations because we have that ability to write a speech and to present information in an understandable way that enlightens. What can you do with your skills? Karen said, what can we do beyond voting? I thought a lot about what can I do beyond writing a strongly worded letter or a strongly worded email. As Toastmasters, we can do a lot. You know, all of the influential people through the history of our world were great orators, just like you and I. Who am I speaking of? Cicero, Abraham Lincoln, Susan B. Anthony, Nelson Mandela, Malala Yousafzai. Do you have something to say that'll help your community? I think you do. So what can you do? How about this? What if you started your own podcast? That's certainly possible today. We have the technology to do that. You can start your own YouTube channel. You can call into a radio show and provide commentary. If you don't want to start your own podcast or start your own YouTube channel, you can find a way to join an existing one. You can go to an open mic. If you don't like the open mics that are available, if they don't tickle your fancy, you can start your own. My point is that we have great power. We have great power with our ability, and we can influence others. You might not influence them 100%, but you can start a good conversation. You can demonstrate your ability to listen, to engage.
2.
What more can you do? You can go beyond personal or professional improvement. You can use your skills as a Toastmaster to make our community a better place to live.